Dear Santa, my friend doesn't believe in you, but I think you are real. But how do you get around all the children in the world in one night?
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno. Well, how does Santa deliver 2 billion presents in one night? The answer to this and much more can be found in Arthur Christmas in association with Starlight.
Dear Gwen, do believe in Santa. He is real.
I wondered whether you'd be kind enough just to tell us about Starlight and your involvement.
Well, Starlight Children's Foundation is a charity that I co-founded because I had a brother who was 8 years old when he died of aplastic anemia. And I was 9 years old at the time, and there wasn't much I could do to help him or my parents. But thanks to a very lucky career, I found that actually you can do good things and help other kids and other families going through something that obviously is very familiar to me. So that's where Starlight began.
And how has it become that sort of the charity that it's become, because it's been running now for 25 years?
25 years, yep. Well, that's not thanks to me. That's thanks to a lot of amazing volunteers, amazing staff that we have in the offices, and amazing children who have blossomed because of being granted a wish and shown that actually what we're doing is well, we like to say it's more than a treat, it's treatment. It actually does help them get better because their emotional well-being is being taken care of and they can fight their illness much better.
And if somebody would like to become a volunteer, how do they get in touch with Starlight?
Well, if you Google Starlight UK, you'll get all the information you need on our website, and we would love it, obviously, if anybody could help.
How it could all be true. The mystery will finally be revealed.
Operation Santa Claus is coming to town.
Go, go!
Engage rooftops.
Hello, Maisie and Sam. You're here with Uncle Frost. Oh, it seems appropriate, actually. Well, sort of Jack Frost, so to speak. What are you expecting from today?
I just want to, it's nice to not be in a film and to come to a premiere and it to be... Yeah, I didn't expect this. It's for the kids, really. They're going to come and have a laugh, and they were worried about they didn't have any 3D glasses, so I had to assure them that they would give them out. So I think it's going to be fun.
A different role for you today?
Yeah, I've just had my own child, but he's too young to do this, so I thought I'd better start getting used to it.
And we've got Aardman mixed with Sony with computer generated graphics.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping from that? Do you think that's a good mix?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Aardman are amazing, and it's one of those things that if it says Aardman on it, it's probably going to be pretty good. I think the kids are chuffed and they can't wait to get in there and watch it.
Ho ho ho!
Drop time 18.14 seconds per household.
Let's pick this up, people.
Can you tell me where you kind of got your inspiration from for your voice for an elf?
Well, it's funny. I've been saying kind of half joking but half not joking. Having a child, my husband and I joke, is like having a little elf living in the house because he's like a small, perfectly functioning little person with a little voice that's up there like that because he's only got a little voice box. And I figured an elf would have a tiny little voice box as well. So maybe my son was the inspiration for my elf voice. And this elf also happens to be from Scotland. It's funny because Ricky and I always used to joke about like our parts, and I would say to him, "Where's this character from?" And he'd go, "Reading." So like all my parts at the moment seem to be, "Where's this one from?" Scotland. Yet another Scottish one.
It helps. And because obviously as a performer, you're playing a character that's much smaller than yourself. How does that affect your performance?
Well, it's a step up from a frog, which I was at the beginning of the year. So I'll maybe graduate to a human at some point. No, I don't know. You still just sort of approach it with fun and not too seriously, I think.
You don't have to kind of like
make
it smell.
Yeah. No, I don't think so, because I think these little elves don't see themselves as small. I think they see themselves as kind of big and feisty. It's like small people. I'm only 5'3", but I don't see myself as small.
Mission accomplished.
What happened for going down the chimney? Never did me any.
Is this your first red carpet? Come round a little.
No, I think I've been on it before.
Tell us about the part that you're playing in Arthur Christmas.
Well, I think I just play a little girl who, like every kid is just asking loads of questions about Father Christmas, like how does he get there and stuff. And then like I would feel really upset if I was like left out from Christmas. So then it's about how they get her present to her.
How Arthur and Grandfather Christmas gets the present to you.
Yeah.
What's it been like working on this production?
It's really exciting to see like my character like come to life with my voice. It's really strange.
Did you see a picture of yourself before you actually put your voice to it?
Yeah, and they made it look a bit like me with like curly hair and stuff. So it's quite funny.
From Sony Pictures Animation and Aardman, meet the family who makes Christmas happen.
Here's to me, doing an even better job next year.
You co-wrote this with Sarah, and I just wondered whether you had to adapt the story differently because you weren't making it for stop motion, but also to encompass CG.
Not really. I mean, the main thing for us was to tell a lovely, funny story, a little bit of, just a nice, a big story we wanted to tell. And I think that doesn't matter whether you're stop motion or live action. I mean, originally it was going to be, originally envisioned it as a live action idea, but just, the way it came out, I think it was totally appropriate, this way of doing it, because of the whole, especially the scale of it, the Santa's got a mile wide sleigh, and you'll see in shots, it's like this big spaceship called the S1, and it looks a mile wide, and it's the coolest thing ever. So, I think it really fits the medium.
Does the story as well also fit the how the technology has been made, because you're dealing with new.
Abandoned me that early on in the process. Okay.
She said Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I just wondered, because the story's dealing with kind of new technology and old technology, whether there's a parallel with the story there as well.
Yeah, there is really, because like the technology for CGI is amazing, and they've taken it on it feels like they've taken on another 10 steps with this movie, and some of it's even like, the funny thing is, it's partly about seeing shots where you see what looks like a million elves, and it really looks like a million elves, which again will be very hard to do in stop frame. But it's also things like Arthur's admittedly cheesy Christmas jumper, which has got like a million hairs in it. Apparently it was the hardest thing to animate of all. And it looks, you want to just reach into the screen and touch it. It's so amazing. Yeah, it's so cool.
And also the heart of the story is really posing the question of how is it done, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it ends up being about, we start out with the question of how is Christmas done. I'm getting hit by a wand here. How is Christmas done? But then it ends up being a little bit more about why. Why would you deliver all these presents to all these kids? You have to care.
Santa's the boss.
That turkey did more than him.
Steve's the brains.
Revised drop time to 14.13 seconds.
And I'd love an espresso.
I believe your original concept was a live action film.
Well, the original concept was pitched to me by Pete, and he, in his head, thought that it might be live action. And I persuaded him that actually there's something kind of awful about seeing Santa played by, however great an actor. If you sort of see Morgan Freeman or someone being Santa, it's kind of harder to believe. And I think that children almost find it easier to believe a whole new myth of Christmas might be true if they actually see it in animation.
And how hard was it to translate really the essence of what is Aardman and that kind of ethnic with sort of CG, that stop motion to CG?
I don't think Aardman would ever say that they are completely about plasticine. We're really about stories and humour and a particular kind of British spirit. And I think I always knew that this story would feel like an Aardman movie, because basically it's about idiots and losers and underdogs. And that's what makes us laugh, and that's what we enjoy. And therefore, that's at the heart of the movie. So I think it feels like a very British, very Aardman film. And the fact that it's in CG is just because that's the kind of world we were creating, an amazing, super high-tech world that is best shown in CG.
And it was your directorial debut as well. How was that experience?
I directed live-action comedy before this, but I'd never done an animated movie. I think if I'd had any idea how unbelievably huge and complex it was, I wouldn't have done it. But it's a bit like childbirth. You don't know until you do it. And it was fantastic, and I had a fabulous team of artists who carried me through it.
And then there's Arthur.
I just want it to be perfect for every kid.
But this Christmas,
There's been a glitch.
How the concept began, I imagine with drawings. Did you move on to actually creating clay in any case?
Well, yeah, this is like a kind of side step for Aardman, really. I personally tend to like working with clay, but Sarah, who directed this film, it's really with all different directors within Aardman, creative people, it's whatever technique is right as a vehicle for what you want to, the story you want to tell, and the kind of humour, you know, how it meets your technical, you know, demands of the story, really.
There's an imperfection when you make clay, kind of get it geometrically just right. So how does that then translate into CG? That would be, I imagine, everything's created perfectly. Does that set its own kind of obstacles, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. We're at the in a way we're at the edge of, you know, techniques changing now, and you know, with tinting and, you know, motion capture, and I think it's where, I mean, I like the idea that clay is imperfect and it's handmade, and I think I will always stick with that. Yeah, but with this film, the creativity is, I think the paradigm shifts. You know, it's a fantastic script and really funny characters. You know,
and it still captures the essence of Aardman.
Yeah, it does. I think that's what's always at the heart of it, really. In all our meetings, our script meetings and ideas meetings, we're always thinking, what is it? You know, what do we all have in common about our humour and being British? And we tend to just go for what makes us laugh. And the technique is, yeah, I mean, Sarah wanted to go with CGI for this, so.
Who cares about one single child?
Now, I was going to ask you about Starlight, actually, and your relationship with the charity.
Well, like a lot of people, I've done a bit of work for Starlight over the years, and they make the wishes of seriously ill children come true. And they pulled off some huge stunts. It's very rare for them not to be able to make the wish come true. They've loads of, all kinds of people have got involved, and the kids do ask for quite extraordinary things, and they very rarely don't pull it off. And but the beauty of it is that there is serious evidence that it's obviously desirable in its own for its own sake, but it also is linked to their recovery. They say that the kids get better. You know, there is definite evidence that these kind of events in their lives, these wonderful things that are arranged, do help them get well.
And that must be lovely for you as a person, as an artist, to help promote that.
Well, you know, I mean, I can draw a little light. I mean, there's lots of people involved, not just me. But yeah, your nightmare, anybody's nightmare, is that their child is ill, and anything you could do in that area obviously is great.
And talking about shedding light, we've got a lovely film here that's going to shed a little light. Now, your voice is unrecognisable that it's you. How did you create that?
Well, you know, they showed me a picture of a little old man with a bald head and false teeth and a stick, and he was about 4'4", and you've got to try and think what noise would come out of his mouth. You know, it's a bit odd. And the first time you try it, the director goes, no, 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 no. And you keep, you know, and Sarah Smith is brilliant. The woman, Sarah Smith, is the woman who wrote it and directed it, and she's exemplary. You know, she's really, really cool and very smart, and she's relentless, and she just kept bashing me and bashing me and bashing me until we got the sound that I make, which is, I hope, appropriate.
Because you are a tall man as well, you're playing a little gentleman, how does that, how do you perform that?
I don't know. I hope we can only pray that there's no video footage of me in the studio, because you'll see me sort of, you know, well, you've just seen it, so I just did it, so there you are. But yeah, no, I mean, I suppose you screw yourself up a bit to sort of get into the, you know, to make the noise.
And can you tell us about the relationship of yourself and Arthur in the heart of the story, really?
Well, Arthur is distressed because, well, Grandsanta is very upset because he doesn't like the way Christmas is going, and I can't tell you where Christmas has gone because it'll spoil the movie, but there's been some changes, and Grandsanta doesn't like him. He wants it to be like it used to be, and Arthur kind of is the same, and they do set off on a big journey in order to put things straight.
You know, Arthur, there is a way. Wow, you're coming too, lad.
Me? On that? Up there? Pulled by them?
Dasher! Dancer! What are the others called? I could never ruddy remember. Bambi?
Well, that is it from the world premiere of Arthur Christmas. I'm Claire Bueno, signing out until next time. And remember, for future film events and for filmmaker interviews, visit premierscene.net.
Just stand back.
It doesn't matter how we got here. Wow! As long as she still believes.
Arthur Christmas.
How do you think he's,
Fine, fine.
No child left behind!